to do business features. And when you do more business, you have more interaction with your clients. And when you have more interaction with the clients, you need to sort out everything. And so the previous one, which was this one, was not good. We use Make. So Make is a task runner, and if you know a bit about it, Make is used to build the kernel, to help building the kernel of any Linux open system. So it's very powerful, and you can use it very simply just by defining small things, and you can have something like that. Instead of telling all your developers and writing an entire documentation, they put help and they get everything to know how it works. This is great, and you can adapt it with some configuration to every project. So you have one big make files, and you just use them or wherever you want. And this is for those who want to get the help things. So it's just a slide you can get on internet after. We have Madame Bees. So the name of the company is Monsieur Bees, so Mr. Bees, and this is Mrs. Bees. She's a bot, actually, because when we need her, we ask her something. So this is a ticket on our ticketing system, and when we are talking on Slack, and everybody is, hey, did you do this on a dash 1, 2, 3? Yes, and Madame Biz is giving the title and a link, which is pretty helpful. And we can, she helps us as well to perform operations we don't want to do or we always forget to do. Like when we merge a pull request on GitHub, she is automatically going to close the ticket on the system, and actually she's faster than GitHub itself, so that's cool. And we can talk about things with her, like stupid, and of course it's random, so like she says she doesn't love me, but in fact she does. I mean, I'm her father. So yeah, and we use Docker a lot. It's because it's very powerful, and it's we don't want to be struggled with all the versions we have. You have a different version for Node.js. You have a different version for, I don't know, NPM, which is in Node, and things like that to build your team. And so using Docker, even in production, is great because, okay, it's the same version everywhere. It will process exactly as you want, and you will avoid all these issues. We use Fabric. Fabric is a small tool written in Python. Fabric is the perfect deployment tool in the world, I think, for me. It's very simple to write. It's easy to read. You get your application, you deploy, you do everything in order. And we improved it to restrict some operations to some servers. Like you don't want to run a Docker command in a server which doesn't have Docker because it will fail, which is logical. And you can have the same as Make developers. They like it because they just, okay, we want to know everything. What do we have in Fabric? We have all that. It's one command line. And you can have as many servers as you want. So that's cool. And you can know, like, at any moment, in which version your application is. So we are in the 1.0.6 version. We use worst, okay, in the whole Ansible thing. I wanted to show the horrible part of it, but it's not a good choice. So it's very easy. You can set up an entire server or many servers in specifically at what you want. And you can do the same with a pre-production, and you can do the same with the staging or whatever. So it's very easy to be sure that everything is iso-functional, which is exactly this slide, actually. So you don't have mistakes in your configuration, and that's another things you want to remove. So we are just, since a year, we are removing all the frictions we have in our job, in our day job, trying to use the best softwares as we can. And Sylius helps a lot. It helps a lot because it's well developed, it's fully tested, so it's very nice to have something which works actually, which doesn't have any bug into the rounding price, so you don't have any problem with, oh, this doesn't work. Yes, you have a 1 cent more because of the rounding. Okay. You have a lot of fixtures, so you can set up any project exactly the same on any machine. So for developers, it's like, I have this bug, do you have it? Yes, because you have exactly the same data. So it's very cool. And you have a great API from the beginning. So it's just filling everything I said, the all top requirements when you are doing e-commerce. You have that in Sylius. But you need to have the great tools as well, like I show you, because your team is the most important thing you have. It's very, very nice to when you do your job to see your colleagues just, okay, it's working, no problem, just, yeah. And when I have a colleague one day, I told him, oh, finally today you're not doing Magento, you're doing Sylius, and he said, yes, it's gonna be a good day. Yes, it's gonna be a good day. So when I saw that in my company, I was like, okay, so we have to do something and we have to move to that solution. So Sylius, is this still a good choice? I'm gonna say yes. If you want to know more about it, just go on internet, World Wide Web, Sylius, and you'll find everything you need. So it's my own quote. With a good platform, you can plug the great tools and focus on your business and your team. So this is the resume of this talk. Wait. This morning, which is the last thing I'm going to say, a customer, one of my customers, which is not already on Sylius, asked me, is it good to Sylius for SEO and things like that? So yes, Sylius, how do we, I mean, the main problem was the cost. When you ask a web agency, oh, it will cost money. Yes, that's the purpose of it, but you will get something in exchange. So Sylius has plugins like any other e-commerce platform, but you can't install them without a developer, and so you can't just shut down your website, which is good. You cannot just add a big whole backdoor or whatever alone, and then you instead of after that you go to see us. So that's not a good thing, but. So it's SEO friendly because you can do whatever you want. So of course it's SEO friendly, and it will just cost what you have to develop. So which is great. And this is fake, but just for the fun. No, actually the performance is 100, the SEO is 90, and the other are like 70 something. Voila. Thank you. Do you have questions? Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I know that Sylius is a good choice for developer experience, but did you have any experience on the admin UI? Because Magento have a lot of pain points, but the admin is quite hard to put energy in this way?
So the question is the Sylius admin panel great enough?
Yes.
Kind of. The answer is it's very different than Magento. Magento is a big CMS. You have everything in it, like everything. Sylius, they decided to put their effort on the e-commerce part. So in the admin panel, you will find everything about the orders, customers, invoices, and everything you need. But you won't find a very big fat configuration page. You won't find, I don't know, actually, I have an example, but now we have it. So you won't find all the CMS stuff you want to use. in few lines of code, it's mostly configuration. You can just, in one file, define a grid and the actions on it and things like that. So it's pretty cool. They did a very, very good job on that part. Yeah.
3 questions, please.
One by one, please.
How practical it is with managing multiple languages? I mean, maybe question before. You mentioned that it doesn't have a CMS, but can we have it as a plugin? And if so, then how is it for the end user to manage multiple languages?
So the question is, do we have a plugin for CMS? Yeah. And how does it work with languages? Yeah. Sylius is pretty well done, well developed for all the translation part. Any object can be translated because they did, and it's just you have the translation for it, and that's it. So yes, you can add a plugin for the CMS part, done by a Bitbag, which is a great company doing Sylius stuff. And it is translatable. So on your page, you have just French, English, German, and that's it. So when you're editing a page or a blog or anything, you just have the 3 languages, and you change them.
Is there a way to inject them, to upload them, for example, those languages, the content?
Actually, there is import-export available on Symfony, but if you want to do that on the CMS page, I'm not sure, but I don't think the plugin actually has import-export thing. So you cannot import everything, you just have to fill the forms one by one, but you can ask the developers to do that for you, and it's very easy to import a CSV in the database with ease in Sylius.
So it doesn't work as a CMS level, but at the developer level it works.
You have, so the question if, does it work as a CMS? I'm just responding for that. Does it work as a CMS, or do we need developers? It's the admin panel is well, so you can do whatever you want on the admin panel. So you have the WYSIWYG, you have everything, so you can. I mean, our customers, every day they are changing things and in their pages without us. So it's working well, but they can't import like 1,000 pages at the same time. With SEO? How does this work with the SEO? Most part of the SEO is done in development before, like when you display a product page, all the metadata, all the microdata, everything is already included. So you have to work when you are building your web shop to be sure that everything is in place. And for all the other stuff about SEO is mostly the content, the textual content. So you have the CMS part for that. Does it answer your question?
Yeah. Maybe I'm not so clear in my head.
So let's talk about it after if you want.
Process your answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes?
So you talked about all the good parts of Sylius. What are the bad parts?
So what are the bad parts of Sylius? The documentation was great. It's still great, but they forget a bit to update it. But it's a difficult part of any software. But you can find, it's well developed, so you can find example almost everywhere, and the documentation is still good. What else? You don't have, I mean, if you are looking to build a web shop in days, it's not possible because you will need too much plugins which don't exist yet, like some payment platforms and payment gateways and things like that. But it's delivered with Stripe and Payum, which is a library, so you can implement already many payments, and that's it. Maybe it's a little bit, you have to go in it to understand very well. So you have to focus like 4 weeks for 1 week or 2 to be sure that you understand the software, and then after you can work on it.
Drupal 8.6 is using same Symfony 4 and PHP 7.3. Are they going to work together between Sylius and Drupal 8.6?
So Drupal, yes, Drupal 8 is on Symfony already, and the question is if they will work with Sylius.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think so. Actually, I don't have this information right now. So, but no, they are different, and Drupal, they already have Drupal Commerce. So I don't think so. We have time for daily problem because we are trying to. So the question is, do we have difficulties to sell Sylius to our customers? So yes, because when you have the competitor are PrestaShop, Magento 1, which is end of life, and Magento 2, which is horrible, but the customers, they don't know that. So what they see is just you have a big fat CMS thing. I can do everything I want without paying that much. But what they don't know is that they will pay a lot actually to fix problems, and instead of just building what they need. So it's just you have to talk and explain, and not be that horrible against Magento, just to say it's a good solution, but it doesn't fit your needs most of the time. It can, if you are a big company, you have millions to spend, yeah, okay, go for it, because it will be great for you. But I mean, it could be great to have Sylius too. So yes, thank you. Thank you.
Let's make a 10-minute break, and then we'll continue with the next talks.
Pizza has arrived. You want to try?
10 minutes. Ah bah oui, ça charge en même temps.